Between Ourselves, Part 12, January 20, 2012. My wife and I had a good talk this evening about being tolerant with each other, and me being more affectionate and not so cold and distant as I seem to have become of late. I told her I will try to be more attentive. Let's hope the seeds are sown for a brighter future. As I look down on our tiny space in the scheme of things, and how all our little deeds are really rather pointless, it would seem the proper thing to do would be to rise above such little deeds, be in control, in command. You have a choice. Yesterday I saw a young man on TV, and he was upset because his wife didn't like his cooking. It was a French advertisement, and as I watched I kept thinking, why does he let himself be upset? Isn't it really a choice, and not an automatic thing? The man in the ad didn't even consider the fact that he had a choice. I do. You have to censor yourself. Only you know when the little menaces are there, and only you can cure you. Don't let them take you down, the little hooks that catch you. Don't let them. There is no reason to feel twitchy because of this or that, or anything for that matter. Do not be like that poor guy in the television advertisement who got upset because his wife did not think his cooking was very high standard. The 1st of February, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. in the Connemara. I just finished my walk, racked by stupid guilt. I should, when actually no, there is no I should. There is only I want, or I get to. No more unconscious guilt. There is nothing to should do. Find the center and drop out. Lip service. Drop it all. Drop it right now and start again. I feel in the spirit now. Concentrate and take the controls. My spirit, be free. We all have our internal tormentors, our baggage, but the trick is to be clear on the inside. Sit back and breathe deep. Concentrate on the deep relaxation. Feel the emptiness of mind and body. Feel free and let the positive flow. Everything you think of is really of very little importance. Thinking and feeling themselves are not the be-all and end-all. Most of the material they come up with is unimportant. It's trivia. My true self is where all mental activity ends. It is now very cold outside. The snow is on the ground, and it feels so different from the hot days a few months back. I drift from my thoughts of working on this or that, and my mind torments me with the objective of bringing order to all the files in my mind which are all over the place. These are the things that cause movement in my state at this moment. However, I am above what I think and feel. Make the day last, for the years go quickly. And remember, it's all a one-way street. One way of cheating boredom is to make a conscious effort to grasp and keep the day you're in. I am the observer of me. Mental processes cannot bring freedom. They only hint at it. Stop and simply let it be. And remember, thinking can only lead to more thinking. February 4, 2012. He was impatient for something which of course was in the future. Later that evening, in fact, after a few more boring hours here, working in the bar. Of course he knew that there wasn't really anything that important or special waiting for him that evening. Where he was now in the Red Raven was fine. It was all an elaborate trick to keep him disturbed in the here and now. The music played. The night was still. Everything was in order. But all the time his mind looked for something to hit him with. The bad vibrations causing the bad feelings like a circle. Bad attitude equaling bad feelings, which in turn give off more bad thoughts. There were so many things that came to mind that really had no importance at all. And the trick was not to give them any time. Don't give the small negative flame the draft it needs. One needed to step outside such things and look closely at them, see how they work. Then, find the center, be the master of you, not the servant. Want for nothing, no desiring. Create a good vibration. Concentrate. The 22nd of February, Wednesday, 7:30 in the Red Raven. Mantra from my walk. A thought is a thought. Real is real. A feeling can be changed. All is attitude. Concentrate. No future nor past, just the here and now. If the bad wave comes, let it wash over you. Don't give it any energy. Let it wash over you and wash away. I just dream them up in the box I call my mind. We live in a rather confused state and are abused by the swirling thoughts and the programming. We don't really know what we do. We react without thinking most of the time. Sometimes we help in our own downfall. What of the higher man? Life is majestic, but our perception of it is sometimes small and idiotic. Why do we constantly feel the need to justify ourselves? The 8th of March, Sunday, 7 p.m. in the Red Raven. As soon as the word is written down, it's history. I'm reading back about past moods and thoughts, and now they're all history. I guess I feel the same now as I did on hundreds of occasions in the past, but as I read from 2010, I think to myself, you could have written the stuff without feeling it. It's all history now, and it would make no difference if you sat in your place there in 2010, absolutely carefree and objective and not taking part. Except you were troubled in mind and body, and as I reread it, it all seems such a waste of time to have been down when you may as well have been up for all the difference it made in the end. You would have ended up right here writing this sentence in 2012. No matter what the mood of you on the earlier page was. Know what I mean? Perhaps it can't be helped. Perhaps you should do a mental exercise and pretend that this present is actually the past, and you're living it again. Be the spectator of the show, why not? March 12th, Thursday, Red Raven. We have our own special individual consciousness. One can imagine it extending outward, a circle around us, and from all that is in this circle we are made. We cannot see any more than is in our circle, and if the solution to something lies outside, then we cannot see it nor act on it. This circle of consciousness gives us our routine. It repeats. It repeats. And sometimes new thoughts mysteriously come in, but we cannot assess what is unknown to us, unconscious to us. It is there, but outside our circle. Let's always be aware and strive for the extension of that circle, the awakening of some new consciousness, and then perhaps the thoughts and feelings which trouble us today will diminish when viewed from this new vantage point. We may one day simply outgrow our troubles. They may simply dissolve in the waters of time. April 10. Ephraim's drunk night out and blackout. I was drinking and watching golf. The Masters is on. I was watching it on Sunday. I was alone and decided to go to the bar at 9:30 p.m. to get more alcohol. When I arrived at the bar, I decided to drink a couple of shots of whiskey. I walked back home drinking a bottle of wine on the way. Before reaching home, I lost consciousness. I awoke beside a small country road sometime during the early hours and managed with some difficulty to stand up. I then staggered home. The next day I awoke fully dressed in bed. I had lost my glasses and my hat, and there was blood on my coat. I had cut my arm and my hand on some thorns. I felt very depressed and disgusted with myself. My worst state of depression in many weeks. 9 p.m. on the same day. Today is a long day. The rain is pouring down, but I feel a strange sense of calmness. I don't mind the idea of leaving this place to find another job, even another job working for someone else. I was relieved to have told my wife what happened Sunday night, and I feel strangely in the moment now, wishing for nothing, just happy to be alive, I guess. I feel nowhere near as bad as I felt yesterday. If I could keep this state of mind, I'd be quite happy. It is a strange kind of numb feeling, a complete state of resignation. April the 14th. Time travel. He had gone back in time. It was Monday morning again. He would awaken at 11 a.m. again with a hangover, with scratches and dried blood on his coat and jeans. The act of the drunken blackout was done again. He hoped he'd remember the danger of that state, the danger of falling, the danger of rivers, hilltops, cars. The list was long. So many ways to die while drunk, or at least hurt oneself. Of course, these things could happen when one was sober as well. All one needed was the right amount of bad luck. However, this return to Monday morning was not about reflecting on such things, or about being stressful about such things. No, this return was in fact the very opposite of all that. He was to spend the day in a very different state than the original one. He was to be carefree, stress-free, unconcerned. He could even drink again in moderation, sparingly, in a normal way. But most of all, he was to enjoy the day. This was done to prove something to himself. The bad act of Sunday night was done, and could not be undone. Whether he had learned anything from the experience would only be known in the future. But to stress and strain today because of the actions of yesterday would be a waste of time, a waste of energy, and a waste of sunshine. He knew this because he had come back in time. Monday was replayed, and he was how he was. The memory of Sunday and Monday had indeed faded. No one was hurt. He had been alone, his wife had been spared the scene. The moment can be free or not. We decide. However, it's difficult to be carefree and mentally free. But one thing is certain. This moment is over, and tomorrow will be here in a millisecond. And then how will you look back? Will you not say that it is over now, so it doesn't matter how I felt, it's irrelevant. Therefore, I might as well have been carefree instead of burdened, worried or afraid, for it makes no difference in the here and now how I felt 10 seconds ago or 1 day ago. I may as well be happy, for I will arrive here anyway. How would I look back on this day? What would I say to myself? Yes, I did it. Could I actually look back on a completely free day? April 15th. Health is wealth. April 24th. Tuesday, the Red Raven. Create your own life. Start now. Be a self-propelled wheel. The whole purpose is here within. All philosophy comes from the mind. All emotion, feeling, expectation, good or bad, it all comes from the mind of man. There is nothing outside, for we think it all into being. We are in command of you. Take control, for we are only living yesterday. We will remember this. We won this moment. The waves of unease that come along can be observed as if from a distance. They will then diminish. It's the strength you give them that makes them troublesome. So don't reinforce them. Let them glide away. Today is yesterday. I have been here before. My wife and I, and our search for new jobs, independent of each other. It always strikes me with anxiety, but of course it shouldn't, because I have been there, done that. Logic, not emotion, will win the day. I will be here tomorrow, no matter how I feel today. Don't give in to worry and unease. Stop wasting your time on it. You can go through this day however the hell you like, so why don't you make it easy on yourself? You are in command. You have the ultimate authority. You decide. No bullshit. Take the reins and realize the stupidity and the needlessness of standing in your own way. All the nagging thoughts, economic thoughts, and thoughts of what you should do, except none of them are as important as your ability to be totally free. Carry on with the doings, but don't give them much thought. Work in an effortless kind of way. Do what you do, but do not think on the results. The higher self will give you what you need and what is best for you, even if at times it doesn't seem like it. One clear-headed day of total freedom, totally at peace with yourself, going with the flow. One single day like that is worth its weight in gold. On a day like that, one can appreciate art in all its forms. Indeed, one becomes an artist in all one does, hears, sees, and feels. On a day like that, one becomes the ultimate artist. One must be detached. Now. The human condition is to experience lots of things. There's no getting away from that. However, nobody can feel good all the time. I believe that if one brings a certain awareness to any uneasy feeling or pain, then this awareness will help alleviate these problems and diminish the power and control they have on one. We can cure ourselves spiritually, and if we cure ourselves spiritually, we will have little to worry about physically. Health is all there is, and spiritual health equals physical health. I wanted to put something down. I took up my pen, but the thoughts in my head seemed just out of reach. It is as if something has not yet arrived at the conscious level. I will have to wait for that. Playing all the reruns in the mind. What a load of nonsense. Objectified. No opinion. No pride. No ambition. Waves of emotion and feeling coming and going. I try not to give in to this program delusion, to this snap act. The waves come and go. Big invisible waves. The pie in the sky. It is very difficult not to get hooked on the big prize in the skies. The idea of what it is to be a success in this world. The idea of success which has been handed down to us from all the screens and all the magazines, from all the pop stars and all the film stars, the writers, painters, sculptors, and the idea that the ultimate would be an autobiography about me. Who decides all these things? Who sets up these prizes as if they were the ultimate point of human existence, when actually they become the ultimate distractions to human existence? June 18, 2012. I am sitting outside in the garden. The air is filled with bird song and the occasional car driving by. I see Kate the cat in front of me, lying down in the shade. My wife is pouring cement into a mold to create a sculptor. It's called Inception. I'm listening to Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. It's difficult for me to just be without being absorbed in some activity. That's why I like walking. It is the least of all activities, but an activity nevertheless. It is hard for me to just sit here quietly in the sun, relax and think of nothing. I need to focus down to a smaller and smaller circle to concentrate. The days come and go when all feels not too well. It feels as if there is something bothering me, but it is just outside my conscious level, so I have the feeling of it, but not the thought. It could almost be called my essence. This feeling of something undone, this feeling of worry. I will melt it away. I will become aware of its uselessness and dissolve it. June 26th. Camping holiday. We are on holidays for 4 days. We're in a lovely camping site which has 3 swimming pools, 2 jacuzzis and a sauna. Our new tent has made its debut and we both slept well last night. It is all very nice here, sitting by the swimming pool, looking at the blue sky and the tall pine trees, but somehow I don't know how to relax. Being in the now seems to have eluded me today. I had plans to read and write all day long and enjoy the outdoors, but I don't seem to be able to do that. I watch and am watched, but I can't find the proper character for the time. We are all just passing time after all in this real-time show. I cannot relax like I did on the hangover day. On that day I was happy to stay put and watch the light go dark and nighttime come. Happy to stay put. I guess the mental stuff is subdued at such times. Focus the mind on one thing. Concentrate on leaving your character alone. Be a free agent. The 7th of August. Focusing down, narrowing the beam. Remember, there was a time, there was a breakthrough. It can be eliminated. What is the it? What can be eliminated? It is all the bad thinking. I had it before the freedom. the freedom to be, to have a mind uncluttered, psychic free. Stop reaching for the correct thought, the correct feeling. It cannot be achieved solely by intellect. The mistake is that we set our minds for the answer, as if we are trying to remember a formula or solve a problem. Certain words can help, but there is no formula for the way you feel right now. It goes beyond that. Stop looking for the answer. Just accept the here and now. Look at yourself from outside. Step outside it all. See things as they are, crystal clear. We color everything with our personal coloring book, our own personal library of films. There is no next scene, just the here and now, and my plan for the here and now, for this bit. Stop playing this stupid game. Don't hurt yourself. Just say, fuck it, when it comes. Leave yourself alone. Don't entertain fear. Tuesday, the 14th of August. The concentration needed to be aware and watchful of every beat, and the difficulty to stay focused and not slip back into auto mode. Without this focus, we get lost and are taken away by the thought and feeling. We become one with them instead of detached from them. We need to keep away. Just another day, same old, same old. I keep trying not to be me, at least in totality. Can it be done? Can we help the oil to flow? I felt one time that I opened a door, even if ever so slightly. Perhaps it's a case of turning our minds to the right frequency, the freedom frequency. We take up space, that is all we do. It's hard to turn your back on all the mental garbage we have, which we are brainwashed into thinking is important. There is so much noise and distraction, everything to take your attention away from all you have really got, which is now, and everything to keep you at war with yourself, instead of being at peace, which is all that matters. Give yourself a day off. 21st of August. I was watching an old episode of Rawhide on TV, the old black and white cowboy show with Clint Eastwood. I saw a cowboy. He was riding on a stagecoach, a card player. He spoke to a young couple, or rather they spoke to him. He didn't play any part in the rest of the episode, but I was quite impressed by the character and his look. I thought about him during my walk yesterday afternoon. I wondered what he was thinking about during the scene. There was something very relaxing about him, very tranquil. He reminded me of the great actors in the movie Once Upon a Time in the West. He was around the same age. August 23rd. A new day and a new way. Give it a shot, at least for a week. Surrender to some higher force. We can call it God, we can call it whatever we want. Have a plan. Do what you can. Give it a day. For a day is a long time to keep one's mind on one idea. Say goodbye to the worldly ways, and say goodbye to the mental maze. What will be, will be. No more interference from me. September the 8th, 2012. Camping holiday in Spain. And the alien visitor. I am sitting beside the pool. We have come to Spain to see Salvador Dali's house and museum. I can hear the children and the adults splashing and laughing in the pool. The sky is deep blue and the air around has that distinctive pool smell. I wish to observe the person called you. I want to watch your thoughts and feelings and note them down. I am an alien visitor, and on our planet there are no single entities with single consciousnesses. We travel to this world for our holidays. We get to see your thoughts and feel your emotions. We enjoy your trip. This binary sensation is an interesting phenomenon for us. It would be irrelevant to say how long we wish to stay, as our concept of time is in no way similar to yours. We come from a collective consciousness with no single entities. Now is always a good place to start from. Now is as good a place to test your ability, your strength of character, your strength of spirit. That's all there is now. 21st of September. Another day, another walk. Time marches on. Time is complete. I am complete. There is nothing to do. I just pass the time. I am here to entertain myself. Here it is. The moment. All I am is here. All is complete here. I feel the oil flow here. Your little earthly doings don't count. Your movie in your little movie theater doesn't count. Carry the feeling that washes over you. Don't give it power. It doesn't count. All is complete here. I am complete. I wish I could stay here. September 28th. To feel the oil flowing in the perfect breath, the healthy breath, one needs to be easy. One needs to be still. Disengage from the constant pull to something coming, something promised. Contentedness must lie in the here and now. Practice the art of being a human being waiting. Cancel one negative thought after another. Be a new man. The hero drops out of the game. He keeps his mind relaxed. No ambitions, no objectives, no plans, no regrets. The 30th of September. I have always been looking for something. The next thing. The next hit. The next piece of the jigsaw. The next day. The next thing that will complete me. But there is always another piece, always another place. It is a never-ending search. Searching but never finding. So I have decided to stop. No more looking, just watching. There are so many mental traps and so much mental noise. The ego tries hard to stop us. I should just watch from now on. I thought about it all yesterday morning. I got up at 6 a.m. I had a coffee, a cigarette. I watched the dawning of the new day. It was very peaceful, and I felt very peaceful. Acceptance, enjoyment, and enthusiasm will stop this thing. This is as good as it gets. The old ways of running from this and that didn't work. So today we try new ways. We remember the great actors and how their very presence could instill a sense of peace within us and give us inspiration just by watching them. A magic enchantment. Think on their presence now and let them help. The scene and the actor. Find the center and just watch. Improvise and play the scene. The scene is here and now. Wait. space, time, and flow. In this scene, be in a nice slumber as you play this thing. Be the law. Leave yourself alone. No engaging here. This is deep time, deep concentration. Concentrate on every little movement. Concentrate on the feeling inside. You are playing a part, but you are not really that part. At least you are not the negative part of it. You are simply playing yourself the same way an actor plays a part on stage, or more appropriately in front of the camera. He is playing a part, he is saying the lines, he is hitting the mark, but he is relaxed inside and he is not really the part he's playing. He is above and beyond that. He gives lip service. He plays the scene, enjoys the here and now. You should enjoy the here and now. Enjoy the day, make it last. Such is the way of the actor. November 22nd, 2012. Private investigation. As I was walking home from the Red Raven today, I was thinking about the previous week and my holidays in Ireland, and how they had not gone according to plan, and how I felt uneasy with people, and I remembered some drunk antics in Ireland, and also with my wife's family in the south of France. This was the soundtrack and the movie reel running through my head as I walked. Remembering the week caused me tension and anxiety, and I blamed my feelings on those memories from the previous week's holiday. But then I stopped, and I thought to myself, what if you had not gone on holiday last week? What if you had not been to Ireland or your wife's family's house? Would it not be possible that even without the events of the previous week, I may now have exactly the same feelings within? I walked on and thought about this, and of course I could not say for sure one way or the other whether I would still have the feelings of unease without the events of the previous week taking place. But I reckoned it would be quite possible to still have this feeling, because the feeling was there anyway, and it was familiar to me. I have had exactly the same feeling on many occasions. The feeling simply needed to pin the reason onto something, so it took the most previous image, the most recent movie, and pronounced this as the reason for the unease, for the unrest. As I thought about all this, the unease strangely began to lift, and I began to feel lighter. It was as if the badness began to dissolve, and I felt good, powerful even. The call. A movie called Harper with Paul Newman came to mind as I was thinking these things. And Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. I thought about these characters and the kind of people that they meet in their two respective movies. In their movies, Newman and Murray are the kind of people that seem to love life, but not the world stage of actors they find they must interact with. They look and listen, slightly bewildered, to the folks and families around them. They look on in a state of detachment, as if they had somehow abandoned the game being played a long time ago, and now they just watched objectively. These thoughts and others, all of which are hard to communicate, made for a very powerful walk. I felt intoxicated without drinking. Halfway home, I stood still for a few moments, very still, and I looked at the fields, the sky, and the small villages around. I felt a great sense of peace within. I wish I could bring this peace to myself when I am in less tranquil waters. Wait for the call. Do nothing. Wait for the inner call. Imagine the immensity of the evening. Look forward to the magic of the evening. Keep free and remember, you are responsible for the depth of your being. Let your spirit rest. Don't chase after anything. Have a clear-minded singleness. No waiting for the next thing. You need to listen in a very deep way and have a very deep stillness before you can hear it. Self-generated awareness. Can you hear it now? Can you hear the call? 25th of November 2012. The unseen fight. Engage the enemy, a voice whispered to me, although I saw nothing. What enemy? I replied. The enemy is so very near, inside even, inside the gates. Inside every action, every thought, every impulse. You need to be on guard. You need to break the spell. The normal state is hard to break. The voice I heard now changed into several voices coming from several directions. Stop, I said as I felt a tightening in my stomach, but the voices continued. Get well ahead of the race. Move at your own pace. Find your own peace. It can be done, it can be found. The happy ground. Find the space, find the place where peace awaits. The same line about me and you, the same thought through and through. Here you see the view, here you feel something new. Look carefully, lest you miss this little secret. Our general doings can be our ruins. With that, the front door blew open and a gust of wind blew all the menus off the tables. It also blew the voices away. It is hard to talk of the truth when you don't know the scope of things and the depth and breadth of things, and you don't know how damaged you have become, brainwashed from the earliest moment by lots of other people who thought that they knew the truth, but didn't realize the scope of things, the depth and the breadth of things. I don't care about all that. I just try and feel free and breathe a healthy breath. December the 6th, 2012. I look on it all with total, utter, and absolute indifference. It is a YouTube video from the past. You watch, but the movie was done years ago, and you're indifferent to the image and the word. Something wrong inside. What's happening inside now? Observe, but do not interfere, just be aware. It is easy to be a watcher, but difficult to control the inner. Strong feelings come and go and are hard to ignore. Time is only now, not next. The gravitational pull of unease and anxiety is hard to break or ignore. One must pull out of this orbit. One must leave the floor. December 18th. I dreamt last night of an actor. We were both in a big building and the atmosphere was good. He was singing and I noticed his tag around the building as we were discussing graffiti. I was trying to find a way to the roof. It was a pleasant dream. The other day I was sitting in the Red Raven with my eyes closed and I was imagining myself fishing in a lake. I was doing some relaxation exercises. just being still and fishing. In the middle of my reverie, and quite out of the blue, my wife, who is French, asked me, "What does reeling in mean?" I was amazed at the question because it seemed to fit very well with my daydream, even though my wife had no idea of what I was thinking about at that moment. I asked her why she had asked such a question, and she explained that my sister in Ireland had sent me an email explaining that she was sending me a DVD box set called Reeling in the Years. It was a strange moment. I was reeling in a fish, or at least imagining reeling in a fish, and my wife asked the question, "What does reeling in mean?" The constant striving of the will from one thing to another, but never arriving at any real destination, just constant striving, and a satisfaction promised but never delivered. Two players in the game see the same objective realities, but they have different subjective inner conditions. We are what we are. We can improve our inner selves. I can only write line by line, and most of the time I don't know what the next. I should live in the moment in the same way, not thinking on the next day. December 30th, 2012. Earlier today and far away, perhaps it was the music, I was ahead of the game, a token alone, for a while. Funny, when it goes, I can't remember the feeling. It is like I was someone else for a while, another self. Maybe it was the music. Maybe when one is above and beyond, one is also above and beyond feeling. This is why, when one tries to remember, there is no feeling to remember. Perhaps the true state of freedom does not contain feeling or thinking. Constant striving, but never arriving.